This lesson is find the linear equation from a given point and a slope. So you will be given a point and a slope. Find the line. So here I have an example. -5, -1 is my point, and my slope is 0. -5 is x, -1 is y, and my slope is 0. However, note, if your slope is 0, you will select y. If your slope is undefined, you will select x. One more time. If your slope is 0, you will select y. If your slope is undefined, you will select x. So in our example, our slope is 0, and based on our note, if our slope is 0, we will select y, and y is -1, so that is my equation. Okay, so one more time. Slope is 0, select y. Slope is undefined, select x. In our equation, slope is 0, so we will select y. Y is -1, so that is our equation. Next example, I'm using the same point, -5 and -1, but this time my slope is now undefined. So based on our information, if the slope is undefined, select x. So if our slope is undefined, we will select x, and x is -5, so that is our equation. One more time. If our slope is 0, we will select y. Okay. If our slope is undefined, we will select x. Okay. Now, what if the slope is not 0 nor undefined? So here are the next two examples. In this example, I'm using the same point, -5, -1, but this time our slope is not 0. It is a value 2. Okay, so we're going to use this formula, point slope form, and plug the value in, and then do order of operations, and then get down to the actual answer. Okay, so first of all, make sure that this is x1, this is y1. Okay, again, this is x1, y1. When you plug into this formula, the point slope form, only plug in the y1, the m, and the x1. This y, leave it alone. This x, leave it alone. Okay, so here we go. Y, this negative, because that's from the formula. Y1, this is y1, and it's negative. Since I have two negative, put in parentheses. Here's my m, which is 2, x, minus, because that's from the formula, x1 is -5. Okay, so there's two negative, put in parentheses. So one more time, this is y, y1 is -1, m is 2, x, and then minus x1, which is -5. If there are two parentheses, put in parentheses. If there are two negatives, put in parentheses. Okay, next we just do order of operations. So negative gives me plus, negative gives me plus. I still have parentheses, so I will distribute. So 2 times x gives me 2x, 2 times 5 gives me 10. Okay, now bring the 1 over. Since this is a plus, I'm going to subtract. So I'm rewriting this equation down here so you can see the subtract 1. So bring the 1 over. So -1, -1. That -1, the 1 go away. So I have y equal 2x, and then 10 subtract 1, which is 9. This is the equation that we are looking for from the given point and a given slope. One more time, this is the equation that is from the given point and a given slope. Furthermore, point slope form will become slope intercept form. which is the y mx plus b. One more time. Slope point slope form will become slope intercept form. Okay, which I wrote down here. Note, point slope form becomes slope intercept form. So one more time. When you use point slope form in the beginning, do your algebra and it will become slope intercept form. Okay, again, use point slope form, do your algebra, and it will become slope intercept form. Okay, now this slope is a nice number. What happened when my slope is a fraction? So same concept, same procedure, just more algebra. Okay, so same point, just different just different slope. Okay, so there's my y1 negative, this is my x1 negative. Since I have two negatives, put in parentheses. There's my m, which is negative 3 over 2. Okay, negative negative plus negative negative plus. Okay, I still have parentheses. Distribute negative 3 over 2x here, negative 3 times 2, negative 3 over 2 times 5, which is negative 15 over 2. Now, where did I get that 15 over 2? So I'm going to do it over here for the note. So negative 3 over 2 times 5. I can put a 1 underneath. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. 2 times 1 gives me 2. So that's where I get the negative 15 over 2. Right here. Okay, so negative 3 over 2 times positive 5 gives me negative 15 over 2. Now, where did I get this from? It's from right here where I did the algebra. Okay, so negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. 2 times 1, 2. Okay, next I want to move the 1 over. So I rewrote this line down here so that you can see the 1 is being moved. So subtract 1 to both sides, so the 1 go away. I have y equal negative 3 over 2x, negative 15 over 2, subtract 1. Now I'm going to do over here so that you can see fractions, subtract another number. Okay, so for negative 15 over 2 minus 1, and I can put that underneath another 1. Okay, a number, I can put another number under, which is 1. Okay, again, since this number right here is not a fraction, I can still put under 1. Similar to here, here's 5, this is 5. There is no number underneath, but I can still put a 1 right here. Okay, so this 5 where I am circling, okay, there's no number underneath, but I can still put a 1. So similar to here, there's no number underneath of this 1, but I can still put a 1 underneath. Okay, so that I can get a fraction. So cross multiply, start from the left. 15, negative 15 times 1, negative 15. Don't forget this minus, which is here. Once I do the left, now do the right. 1 times 2, which is 2. Okay, and then under multiply, so 2 times 1 gives me 2. One more time, negative 15 times 1, start from the left. Negative 15 times 1 with negative 15. Minus, minus. Now do the right side. 1 times 2, which is 2. Multiply underneath. 2 times 1 gives me this 2. Okay, now order of operations, negative 15, negative 2 gives me negative 17 over 2. If you can reduce, reduce. If you cannot reduce, leave them alone. So going back to the equations, negative 15 over 2 subtract 1 is negative 17 over 2. Where did I get this negative 17 over 2? Which is right here. Okay, so this lesson is find a linear equation from a given point and a slope. Okay, so this example, the slope is easy. The slope here is a fraction. Okay, over here, what happened when slope is 0 and undefined? Okay, so again, this is the lesson to find the equation from a given point and a slope.